Good morning. My name is Tom from All Saints Church Weston, and I'd like to talk to you about one of my favourite songs, which is connected with the picture that you see behind me, a picture of two ships colliding, which was a terrible disaster towards the end of the 19th century. The hymn that I want to talk about is a favourite of mine. It's called "It Is Well With My Soul." Some of you may know it. For others, this may be a new one on you, especially as it was written about 150 years ago. It was written by a man called Horatio Spafford, an American lawyer living in Chicago, a fairly prosperous American uh, for all that, but also a dedicated Christian. And he lived at a time when life was much more uncertain and precarious than it is now. In 1870, he and his wife lost a little boy, 4 years old, to scarlet fever. The following year, there was a terrible fire in Chicago with major loss of life. And Spafford owned a number of properties, and these were destroyed, and so much of his personal wealth went overnight. But they were a man and woman of strong faith, and no doubt this challenged them greatly, but they persevered in the faith. They were also great supporters of the American evangelist D.L. Moody and the man who accompanied him on his evangelistic tours, the musician singer Sankey. And Sankey and Moody came frequently to England, and their ministry was very powerful. And in 1873, Moody and Sankey made another trip to England, and Horatio Spafford and his wife decided that they would accompany them. So that was their plan. As it happened, the family were not able to travel on the same day on the same ship. I think Spafford had business to attend to. So his wife, and they had 4 daughters at the time, went on a ship called the Ville du Havre, the city of Le Havre. And that's one of the ships that you can see behind me. And that sound then was a WhatsApp message popping in. Don't worry about it. So they set sail, and but a few miles away from land on a foggy night, the ship was hit by another one and sank. Of the 330 or so people on board, more than 200 of them died, including all 4 of Spafford's daughters. His wife was rescued and made it to England. I think news of the disaster had probably reached America, so Spafford must have spent some anxious days wondering about it. And when she got to England, she telegraphed this simple message: "Saved alone, what shall I do?" You can imagine, or try to imagine, the immense sense of grief and anger, maybe, that came over both of them. Spafford, of course, set out as soon as he could to join her. The ship that he was on, taking the same route that the one that his family had gone on. And when they came near the spot where the ship had sunk, the captain pointed it out to him. And then Spafford retired to his cabin, and he sat down to write, I don't know, a poem, or maybe he did mean to write a song, but that's what he did. And he wrote the song that we now know as "It Is Well With My Soul." The tune was later put to it, and the name of the tune is the name of the ship that was sung, Ville du Havre. The opening words of the hymn are, "When peace like a river attendeth my way, but when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul." It's a good song for any day, good or bad, particularly good for a time of crisis like the one we're in. Spafford, like Job, like Paul, was able to say, whatever state I am in, I can find it in me to give thanks and to hold on to God, who is a sure anchor. So I hope you'll enjoy listening to this song and appreciate it. It's usually sung by a choir, but this is sung by a quartet in a more modern version of the song.
Like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll. Whatever my life thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well